the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence. Pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Play fake. Mayfield. It's blocked by Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now left side on the swing pass. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? The West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play? There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Now a handoff looking right. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
On second down, it's Reed. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
He'll look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. Well, that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Here's 2nd and 8. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 40.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll set up a throw, and he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. We're scoreless after 1. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Steps away. It's caught by OBJ. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on, able to accurately throw the...
The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Mayfield lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 3. Buying time to his left. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Got outside of the tackle box, and sometimes that can be a recipe for disaster, but here it was not.
It's frustrating for guys on defense, too, because he got out to the left and then still delivered on the move with accuracy.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now Joe Mixon. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On second down, here's Mixon. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
He's got his man, Boyd. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Mayfield. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw, Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true.
Now Mayfield lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oftentimes you say some guys have a knack for creating turnovers. He forced a fumble last week, forces another one.
And one of my good coaching buddies, Frank Delano, always told me, hey, Davis, creating turnovers is not as much about skill as it is about desire.
Oh, I thought it was going to be will, because will rhymed with skill.
Come on,
we went with desire. We'll go with desire.
What are you, the rhyme master now?
And he'll take this one only up to about his...
Calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to be.
And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. On the move to his left. There goes a deep ball. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it. That can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. This is taken at his 4. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Bengals drive about to get going. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But it used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop it. Flushed out right. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll try the left side. It's Reed. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point right down the middle, and that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
It's our time. It's our time. Check 24. Check 24.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
2nd and 6. Being chipped, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Carl Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Let's go one more.
Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 2nd down now, Nixon. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the 1st. 9 yards on the carry, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
So, Party, next time we see this coaching staff, I want you to have my back here because that was really kind of a white flag type of a play, almost a little bit of a surrender. Just turn and hand it to the big guy, get what you can, and be prepared to kick the ball away.
Fielded just inside the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out comes Minnesota. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs. Second and 9 now. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They went zone blitz there, obviously successful. What makes the zone blitz successful?
Well, just go ahead and let's break the term down. Zone means they're going to play zone behind them in coverage, not man-to-man. But the zone blitz, why it's confusing to offenses? Because oftentimes defensive ends or defensive tackles will drop back into coverage, and linebackers or safeties will usually fill that gap and blitz in their spot, messing up the blocking responsibilities.
This one caught by Ridley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Following the interception, Mayfield going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Mayfield to throw it. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Mayfield now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. Mayfield looks to throw. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And down inside the 15 he goes. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Mayfield down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a